People that use Tinder, got any good bad hookup stories? NSFW. Got drunk. Liked everyone. Went to sleep. Woke up. 0 matches. Deleted it in a fit of hungover anger. I am sexy and I know it. And ain't no duckin' app gonna tell me otherwise. I matched up with a 40-year-old recently single female, and me in my mid-20s. We met up at a bar. Had a drink and ended up making out in the parking lot. A few nights later we met up at her place and watched a movie. Of course. We didn't really watch the movie. She gave the best blowjob I've ever had in my life and was a squirter. So. Thanks Tinder. My friend ducked this stripper with half a shaved head and facial tattoos. She told him that she had been smoking meth all morning and that she had a boyfriend. We later found out that she's also pregnant. My friend said it was the best sex he's ever had in his entire life. During university last year, me and my buddies downloaded Tinder. I swiped right non-stop for a weekend and got about 300 matches and messaged all the attractive ones with various pickup lines. I had 2 one-night stands as a result of this, and coincidentally it was the same line that worked on both. Not me, but a friend of mine hooked up with the morning weather girl for the local news station thanks to Tinder. I totally suck at Tinder. Met a girl for a one-night stand. 4 months later. We're getting on a plane to go on holiday together. Ducking amateur. Got talking to a girl on there. We met up for drinks and it turned out to be the best date I've ever been on. We just talked all night and ended with a kiss. I walked her home and then we texted each other till we both fell asleep. It was like being 16 again or something. The next time I saw her I got a blowjob whilst we watched Titanic. We dated for 2 months or so and she was great. As was the sex. We wanted different things relationship wise, so things didn't last long, but absolutely no regrets on my part. God bless Tinder, I say. It was horrible. I installed the app for fun and just to duck around with when I'm bored. Ended up matching with a girl and talked to her for like 2 weeks and exchanged numbers and FB info. She was pretty. Seemed really cool. And we shared a lot in common. Eventually she said we should hang out. And I said sure. We met up at a mall and just walked around and talked for about an hour. And I left. After I left, I knew I wasn't going to pursue her. Over text she seemed pretty cool. But in person she was just off. IDK, I can't really explain it. Anyway. Within 2 minutes of me getting back in the car, she texted me wanting to know my real opinion on her now. Kinda weird. But whatever, she seems weird, so I just replied saying yeah, she's cool and whatever. Big mistake. Over the course of the next 2 hours, I received over 80 texts. About 10 calls and a couple VMs. All of her crying and saying I need to move in with her and her dad because she's suicidal and I needed to take care of her. I was blunt with her in saying no and this can't go on anymore and to stop contacting me. But nothing changed. I had to delete my FB profile. Block her number. etc. I deleted the app after that. TLDR. Meta crazy. Hooked up with a girl who turned out to be a sister, sorority thing, of a friend. We saw Frozen. She called me later that night trashed and asked me to pick her up. Took her to her house. She asked me to stay. Tried to get me to snort cocaine off her breasts. As in. Asked me. Wanna do cocaine off my titties, nice girl. Really. But quite messed up. I've had Tinder for 16 months and have still yet to get a message. Not even from spam bots. Pretty happy with my story. Disclosure that I'm bi. But predominantly fool around with guys. I was in a opposite sex mood or something, so found a girl on there. Good sense of humor. Personality. That sort of thing. We wound up meeting up. Hooking up. And then kind of kept up with that frequently for weeks. Then months. And so on. Guess what's annoying is that she was a perfect match for me. We were both well educated. I was finishing my JD. She had a double major and was getting into a master's program. So we were both goal career oriented. both into sports. Oddly both the same race, which has been excessively rare for me. We are both a black-white mix. This isn't important for either of us, but we were also the first black-white mix we had ever met, let alone dated. First time I held someone's hand who was the same color as me, so that was kind of cool. We loved the same jokes. Just a scary perfect match. So great sex. Cool set of friends. She cooks well. I cook too, but I'm part Caribbean and she is not a fan of spicy food, and cooking without curry is foreign to me. Our political views are different enough that we can still have a good discussion. And then I finished law school and went to take the bar in another state. I'm off and on sitting around just wondering what the duck am I doing and if I should just keep it going or what. She's honestly the first and currently only person in my life that I genuinely thought was marry worthy. TLDR equals practically found perfection, and now I don't know what the duck to do. I went out to get drinks with a girl. I proceeded to admit that I was completely broke and we would have to split the drinks. She not only paid for those drinks, but then paid for the food we later ate, more drinks, and gave me a quality BJ at the end of the night. Thanks, Tinder. Finally something I can answer. I've met 6 girls since I downloaded the app in January. Most have been pretty negative, so it never got past conversation. Then I lost weight. I've experienced 2 firsts in my life thus far. 1. I've had sex on a beach at night, complete with sticks poking my ass. 2. Post-orgasm, a girl has patted me on the head and said good job. 10/10 would do again. I met a girl and we met up for drinks. We talked for a while and eventually ended up going to late lunch. We texted for a couple days and ended up going out again. And she took me back to her place. Easily one of the best times of my life. She's a sweet girl. I hope to see her again soon when our schedule matches up again. I'm an identical twin. My brother was visiting me at school and I invited a girl I met on Tinder over. He doesn't use Tinder, but obviously didn't want to be alone for the night, so I used the app to get him a girl too. She thought he was me the entire time, all the way up until she left the next morning. Right before she left, she asked my brother a question about my rugby team that he just couldn't answer. I got some angry messages afterwards. Edit, my brother and the girl are editors too. Let's see if they see this, haha. My buddy just told me his story last week. Apparently he had it for a while and got nothing. His first hookup was some really cute girl, showed me pics, that was somehow in the sports industry. She got them special access to a game, then they went to a party at somebody's uber expensive apartment, rooftop garden in Mick. In the millions. He got a BJ in the bathroom. He is not the guy to brag, but it was over the top enough that he had to share the story. I was reluctant to go when she asked me out cause I'd never met anyone from online before. We ended up hooking up and all that, which was nice. But on my ride home she called me. Not once, not twice, but thrice. Then she texted me. I fell asleep and woke up with 7 text messages and quite a few Snapchats from her. I attempted to break it off nicely and politely inform her I wasn't looking to date or anything. But she wasn't really having it. I ended up insulting her until she said I was the biggest dick alive and stopped texting me. 3/10. Would probably still do it again. Was talking to this pretty girl and we really connected, so we agreed to go on a date. We dated for a couple of months and she's my girlfriend now. So I'm pretty happy about it. I got Tinder about a month ago and met with my first live one last week. We had actually been messaging for about a week or 2. Pretty different schedules to blame. But we ended up meeting up for a concert, which led to drinks, which led to me inviting him back to my house, which led to sex. The sex lasted ducking forever and not in a good way. He was one of those drunks who just can't ducking come, and instead of admitting defeat just keeps pounding and pounding. Gentlemen, this is not desirable. It hurts after not too long. There is chafing involved. In the end I was just so over it that I rolled over and went to sleep. Sorry. Dude. I'm giving him another chance this weekend with hopefully less alcohol, so we'll see. I'll give it a 5/10. Had sex. Didn't die. Willing to try one more time. I matched with an extremely attractive girl at college who invited me clubbing. A few days before I was to go clubbing. However, Tinder came up in a conversation and we ended up pulling out our phones and talking about our matches. One guy recognized the girl. She's one of many who mess with guys trying to hook up. Itch.